So basically, I think it is actually a good problem to have. You know why? Because occupational therapy intervention in true sense is very, very individualized. When I say that, although the professional language, the professional areas or domains or constructs can still be very well defined and be informed that these are the typical areas that OTs work on. However, when it comes to explaining to a parent and a child, I think it is more like what does occupational therapy mean for your child rather than what does occupational therapy mean in general. So what usually happens is that we try and understand the parent's perspective. And I tell them that forget about the perspective of any other therapist which you might have met or a medical professional that you might have met before coming to an occupational therapist, and let me know what is your pain. We call it function. But I understand that the parent might understand it more like their own understanding of the concern. And I believe that that gives the correct context to explaining what occupational therapy entails or what occupational therapy means or will do or can do for your child. So, but in GIST, occupational therapy is a function-based intervention that uses activities as the main modality. It tries to improve the functional abilities of individual in any age group, maybe as young as right from discharge from an NICU to as long as or as older as somebody in a palliative care or elderly. If any person has functional difficulties in his any of his day-to-day functioning, if he has something that he thinks is not completely independent or completely working out for him, then an occupational therapist comes into the picture. And what he does is he tries to do an assessment of the function and also tries to find out what could be the underlying issue or domain governing that functional disability or difficulty, be it be physical difficulty, be it be psychological, be it be social, emotional, behavioral, or educational. And if that kind of a domain is figured out by the occupational therapy assessment, usually the intervention is offered only to those children and to those families where it makes sense to connect the occupational therapy core domains, which typically are under the area of gross motor, fine motor, communication, adaptive behavior. Communication itself is a part of the adaptive behavior that we say. And similarly, handwriting. And there are so many other things which are connected to the psychological functions, but may not be to the core psychology, social or emotional functions. But there are few factors under the whole domains that are available to any human being, which can be attributed to occupational therapy. So what happens is then we understand those difficulties, and then we tell the parent whether this particular aspect of your difficulty comes under the occupational therapy domain. And then we try and solve your functional problem. So we are problem solvers. We solve the functional problem with the modality of activities, but to those and only those where functional difficulty is very much there. One, second, my occupational therapy core domains and techniques and strategies will be able to help these functional problems. So functional problem is a very big area under which there will be a specific kinds of functional problems which the OT should be able to tell the parent that for your particular child, because I know him now a little, these are the functional problems that can be solved by an occupational therapist.
Right.